Health.
This is Paul Turner, the Immigration Barrister at Imperium Chambers. Thank you for tuning in. It's a rather unpleasant time. Please subscribe to my channel and hit the notification button for all up-to-date immigration news. Obviously today everybody is talking about the war in Ukraine and the invasion. Now, while the government has taken steps to help Ukraine resist the Russian invasion, the Home Office, with its usual attitude, has failed to rise to the occasion. It is clear that there is an urgent need for the Home Office to relax the immigration rules and help those fleeing the war in Ukraine. It appears, sadly, that the invasion started, I think, some 5 or 6 days ago, that the Home Office has no policy or plan in place to help Ukrainian refugees, which is deeply upsetting and highlights the Home Office's attitude to those most at risk. Even though this is not so much a war in a faraway land, but in Europe. Apparently, the Foreign Secretary Liz Truss says the government is urgently looking at what more we can do to help Ukrainian refugees fleeing from the Russian attack on their country. I think they need more than just being looked at. Whilst the Foreign Secretary has been vocal, the Minister responsible, the Home Secretary, who would have to deal with refugees, Priti Patel, seems strangely silent on this matter. Labour, on the other hand, has referred to the government's failure to waive visa rules as being immoral. In my view, the United Kingdom should follow the example of Ireland, which has waived all visa requirements for all Ukrainian nationals entering its country. In a further move which shows that the UK is increasingly out of step with the rest of Europe, despite Brexit, we are still a European country after all. The vast majority of European interior ministers are in favour of invoking what's called the EU's Temporary Protection Directive for the first time ever to cope with the mass influx of displaced Ukrainians arriving in EU states. Surely this is something the UK could do, waive visa requirements and grant temporary protection visas for all those who are fleeing the situation in the Ukraine, particularly as the UNHCR has indicated that there are over some 400,000 people that have already been displaced due to the invasion. This number is surely due to grow larger every day. When pushed on this issue, the government, as to whether they would waive visa requirements for any Ukrainians coming to the UK, Liz Truss told the BBC One Sunday morning programme, well, she didn't tell them anything. She sought to evade giving a straight answer by saying, it's a desperate situation. Of course, Britain has always welcomed refugees fleeing from war, and we are urgently looking at what more we can do to facilitate that. Whether that's a true statement, given what's happened in Afghan, Iraq, Syria, Libya, is another matter. Disturbingly, the immigration minister, in an insulting tweet, stated there were a number of routes for Ukrainians to come to the United Kingdom, including fruit pickers. This tweet was disgraceful in my view, and shows how out of touch the Home Office and more worryingly the immigration minister was. Apparently, having tweeted this, probably on some advice, he took down the offending tweet. On Saturday, the Prime Minister Boris Johnson said, "Of course we are going to take refugees," adding that this country has a proud and historic role of taking refugees from all conflicts, something people might take with a pinch of salt given what's happened in Afghanistan and the problems that there have been in resettling what limited Afghan refugees that there are. As to how we're going to take refugees is another matter, as under Priti Patel's much trumpeted new plan for immigration, any that arrive in the United Kingdom illegally, having been driven from their homes due to this unwarranted invasion, would face criminalisation, detention and potentially being packed off to some island in the Atlantic to have their asylum claims processed. So whilst the government has taken some steps to assist the Ukrainians in the defence of their country, and one can only commend the government for that, in respect of dealing with the humanitarian crisis and the need to provide a safe haven for refugees, it seems that the Home Office is doing what it normally does, pretend the problem doesn't exist, ignore it, make offending tweets, and generally carry on with this new plan for immigration, which will only criminalise those people that are fleeing from what is a war on our footsteps. I hope the situation improves. I hope the UK relaxes the visa requirements for all Ukrainians and allows them to come to the United Kingdom. I will of course keep you updated. But at the moment it seems to me that the Home Office at the very least seems to be abandoning the Ukrainians to their fate, which is something which is utterly disgraceful in my opinion. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel. Stay safe during the pandemic. This is Paul Turner, the Immigration Barrister at Imperium Chambers.